This is the JHS Hour on Joy Learning, and this is your facilitator, Sir Ralph, to take you through another lesson in integrated science. Today we are going to continue with our topic on matter, and we are going to look at change of state of matter. But before we do that, let's quickly recap what we did in our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we saw the meaning of matter, what matter is, then the nature of matter, the states in which matter can exist, the characteristics of the states of matter, and then we also look at the arrangement of particles in the three states of matter, that is solids, liquids, and then gases. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to demonstrate how matter is changed from one state to the other. So let's quickly look at the change of states of matter. A substance can be made to change its state to another by either heating or cooling the substance. This means that substances can change their states at different temperatures. Substances can change their states at different temperatures. The following are the processes by which a substance can be made to change its state. Don't forget, we have our three main states, which is the solid, liquid, and gas. And if you look on your screens, we have the following processes that can change matter from one state to the other. So we have melting, we have evaporation, we have freezing or solidification, we have condensation or cooling, we have sublimation, and then we have deposition or reverse sublimation. Now let's take them one after the other. So let's look at melting. You can see a picture on your screen, and that shows ice block going through the process of melting. Now, what is melting? It is the process by which a substance changes from the solid state into the liquid state by the application of heat energy. The process can be demonstrated when ice block, which is a solid, is heated to form water or a liquid. Let's go through it once more. We are saying that melting is the process by which a substance changes from the solid state into the liquid state by the application of heat energy. The process can be demonstrated when ice block, which is a solid, is heated to form liquid. Let's go on to our next process, which is solidification or freezing. And if you study the picture on your screen, you can see red hot metal going through solidification. So, when we talk of solidification, it is a process by which a liquid changes to solid by cooling. The process by which a liquid changes to solid by cooling. The process can once again be demonstrated when water is cooled in the freezer until it becomes a solid, that is ice. We all know ice block. So that is an example of changing from liquid state to the solid state. Our next process is evaporation. And as you can see on your screen, that is a picture of an evaporation process taking place. So when we talk of evaporation, what do we mean? Evaporation is the process by which a liquid changes into a vapor, that is gaseous state, at all temperatures. At all temperatures, meaning that at any temperature at all, evaporation can take place, not only boiling. Now there's a difference between boiling and evaporation. When we talk of boiling, boiling occurs at a specific temperature, which is 100 degrees Celsius. When we talk of evaporation, it occurs at any temperature. So as I'm standing here, evaporation is taking place in this room. If we go onto the hot sun, evaporation is taking place. Now, the process can be demonstrated when water is heated until bubbles begin to escape from the surface of the water. So that is evaporation. Our next process is condensation. Condensation or cooling. So on your screen, we have a glass with droplets of water on the surface, which signifies condensation. We also have another picture of a bottle with droplets of water on it. So, condensation. It is the process by which gas changes to liquid by cooling. It is the process by which gas changes to liquid by cooling. This can be demonstrated when steam is collected onto a cold metallic surface. Drops of water are formed as the steam is cooled. Now, most of the times when you take a bottle of water from the refrigerator, after some few minutes, you see droplets of water. You ask yourself, where is the water coming from? Does that mean there are holes on the bottles? No. And because the air around the bottle is warmer and the bottle itself is very cool. So when the warm air touches the cold surface of the bottle, it changes from gaseous state to liquid state, and that is cooling or condensation. Let's look at our next process, which is sublimation. Sublimation. And as you can see on your screen, we have a picture showing the process of sublimation. Now, sublimation is the process by which a substance changes from the solid state directly to the gaseous state, from the solid state directly to the gaseous state without passing through the liquid state. The process can be demonstrated when naphthalene, or what we normally call camphor, is heated. Our next process is what we call deposition, or we can also call it reverse sublimation. Deposition or reverse sublimation. It is the process in which a gas changes directly to a solid without going through the liquid state. It is the process in which a gas changes directly to a solid without going through the liquid state. The process can be demonstrated when warm, moist air inside a house comes into contact with a freezing cold window pane, water vapor in the air changes to tiny ice crystals. Now this example is not common with us here because our climate is very hot. It is very common in the cold climates. When you go to America, UK, where they have freezing temperatures. This is an example of deposition or reverse sublimation. So we've seen the processes that will lead to the change of state of matter. So before we start with our exercise, once again, we've seen melting, what it means. We've seen evaporation. We have seen solidification. We have seen condensation or cooling. We have seen sublimation, and then reverse sublimation or deposition. Now let's quickly answer some few questions. Question number 1. Mention 3 areas where the compressible nature of a gas is applied. Mention 3 areas where the compressible nature of a gas is applied. 2. Classify the following into solid, liquid, and gas at room temperature, and they are water, mercury, ice, oxygen, naphthalene balls, kerosene, stone, steam, palm oil, and sodium chloride crystals, which is the same as common salt. Number 3. A bottle of water removed from a refrigerator soon becomes covered with droplets of water because, so you continue with the sentence. You give your explanation. A bottle of water removed from a refrigerator soon becomes covered with droplets of water because, so quickly take your pens and jot something down before we start with our answer. All right. I believe you have jotted something down. So let's quickly go through our exercise. So we have question number 1. Mention 3 areas where the compressible nature of a gas is applied. 3 areas where the compressible nature of gas, where gas can be compressed. So let's see what you're able to write. Now, so we have 1, pumping of lorry tires or football. Pumping of lorry tires or football. Then we have blowing air into balloons. Blowing air into balloons. And we have putting insecticide spray into spray can. Putting insecticide spray into spray can. and then putting LPG gas into gas cylinder. Putting LPG gas into gas cylinder. All these areas are areas where we compress, or gas is compressed, or the compression of gas is applied. I think you can add more. Good. Now let's go to our next question, where we are to classify the following into solid, liquid, and gas at room temperature. So we have water, we have mercury, we have ice, we have oxygen, we have naphthalene balls, we have kerosene, then there is stone, steam, palm oil, and then sodium chloride crystals. So this is how best you can classify the substances. So under solid, we have ice, we have naphthalene balls, we have stone, and then sodium chloride crystals. Don't forget, I said sodium chloride crystals is the same as common salt, the salt that we use at home. When it comes to liquid, we have water, we have mercury, kerosene, and then palm oil. And then when we come to the gas, we have oxygen and then steam. So this is how we can classify the substances into solid, liquid, and then gas. Let's look at our last question. And it says, a bottle of water removed from a refrigerator soon becomes covered with droplets of water because the water in the surrounding atmosphere is warmer than the water in the bottle. A bottle of water removed from a refrigerator soon becomes covered with droplets of water because the water in the surrounding atmosphere is warmer than the water in the bottle. So this is what brings about the droplets of water on the surface of a bottle after it comes out of the refrigerator after some few minutes. Let's recap what we've done so far today. So in our summary, we've seen the change of state of matter. And as you can see on your screen, we have solid, we have gas, and then we have liquid. These are the three states in which matter can exist. Now, to change from solid to gas, the process is known as sublimation. From solid to gas is sublimation. And from gas to solid is deposition. Deposition or reverse sublimation. Now, to change from gas to liquid, from gas to liquid, the process is known as condensation. Condensation or cooling. And to change from liquid to gas, from liquid to gas is evaporation. Evaporation. Now let's look at from solid to liquid, from solid to liquid, and the process is melting. And from liquid to solid is freezing or solidification. Freezing or solidification. I believe you've enjoyed today's lesson. Join me another time for another interesting topic in integrated science. This has been your facilitator, Ralph Mensah. Keep watching Joy Learning TV. See you next time. Bye-bye.